The average iPhone user opens 9 to 10 apps a day but has around 80 installed. WWDC 2026 just made about 70 of those obsolete, and almost nobody is talking about what that means for your portfolio. Here's the part that should make you sit up. Apple didn't announce a new app. They announced the end of needing apps at all. When Siri can book your flight, reorder your groceries, summarize your bank statement, and split a dinner bill without you ever tapping a single icon, the App Store stops being the front door to the internet, and the App Store generated roughly $1.3 trillion in developer billings last year. That's the economy Apple just quietly put on notice. So let's break down exactly what happened, why it's the biggest platform shift since the iPhone itself, and most importantly, where the money moves next. Because every platform shift mints a new generation of winners, and the people who saw mobile coming in 2008 are the ones who bought Apple at $5 a share. This is that moment again. Let me show you the map. To understand why this is a big deal, you have to understand how we got here. In 2008, the App Store launched with 500 apps. The deal was simple. Developers build, Apple takes 30%, and the iPhone becomes a slab of glass that can become anything: a camera, a bank, a taxi dispatcher. That model created Uber, created Instagram, created the entire creator economy. The app was the unit of value. You wanted something, you found an app, you tapped it, you used it, but here's the friction nobody questioned. Apps are walled gardens. Your travel app doesn't talk to your calendar, which doesn't talk to your bank, which doesn't talk to your email. You are the integration layer. You are the one copying the confirmation number from one app and pasting it into another. For 18 years, you've been the human glue holding the app economy together. What Apple showed at WWDC 2026 is an AI layer that becomes the glue instead. And once the glue moves from you to the operating system, the apps underneath become invisible plumbing. That's the shit that I saw. Now let me give you the 5 forces that make this real. And the last one, I saved it for the end because most people don't know it yet, and it's where the actual money is. Point 1, intent replaces interface. The core of the new Siri is something Apple internally frames as on-device intent resolution. You say what you want, and the system figures out which services to call. You don't open DoorDash, you say get my usual from the Thai place. And the AI calls DoorDash's backend through what's called an App Intent API. Apple has actually been quietly building this since iOS 16 with the App Intents framework. Developers expose their functions, and the Sutter assistant orchestrates them. What's actionable here? If you build anything, the game is no longer designing a beautiful screen. It's exposing clean, well-documented actions that an AI can call. The winners in this era are the companies whose services are most machine readable. Go look at whether the products you use or the company you work at have an API-first architecture. That's the new competitive moat. Point 2, distribution gets destroyed and rebuilt. Right now, how do you get users? You pay for App Store search ads, you fight for ranking, you spend on Instagram acquisition. Apple's ad business inside the App Store alone is worth over $10 billion a year. But if nobody browses the App Store because Siri just picks the service for them, then ranking is dead. And a new question appears. How does the AI decide which Thai restaurant, which bank, which travel service to call? That's the new battlefield. It's not App Store optimization anymore. It's something we should call agent optimization, being the default the AI trusts. Watch closely, because whoever controls that default selection controls trillions in commerce. My bet, it becomes a paid placement layer and Apple takes a cut, just like search does for Google. Point 3, the 30% tax is in danger, and so is everyone who depends on it. Apple services revenue hit around $100 billion a year, and a huge chunk is that App Store commission. But if transactions happen through an AI agent calling a backend, the legal and structural basis for that 30% gets murky. And the EU's Digital Markets Act is already forcing Apple to allow alternative payments. So Here's the actionable insight for investors. Watch Apple's services margin in the next 4 earnings calls. If they successfully port that 30% toll into the AI layer, charging for agent transactions, the stock has massive upside. If regulators and developers break it, that's a real risk to the $2 trillion services thesis. This single line item is the whole bet. Point 4, the app developers who survive will look completely different. In the old world, the app was the business. In the new world, the app is a thin client, and the value is the service and the data behind it. Think about it. A company like Plaid, which connects bank data, becomes more valuable because it's the pipe the AI uses. A company with a beautiful app but no unique back-end data becomes a commodity the AI replaces overnight. So when you're evaluating any tech company now, ask one question. If the interface disappeared tomorrow, would this business still be valuable? If the answer is the data, the network, or the supply is irreplaceable and that's a survivor, if the answer is people like our design, that's roadkill. This is how you separate the next decade's winners from the dead apps walking. And the last one, I saved it for the end because most people genuinely don't see it coming yet. Point 5, the real money isn't in Apple. It's in the picks and shovels of the agent economy. Everyone's going to pile into Apple stock on this narrative. Fine. But the bigger asymmetric play is the infrastructure that every AI agent, Apple's, Google's, Amazon's, has to run on. 3 layers to watch. First, the inference layer. The chips that run these on-device and cloud models. Apple uses its own silicon, but the broader agent economy runs on NVIDIA and increasingly on custom chips from Broadcom and Marvell. Second, the orchestration layer. Companies building the protocols that let agents talk to services safely. Watch the Model Context Protocol that Anthropic open sourced. It's becoming the USB-C of AI agents, and whoever owns that standard owns the rails. Third, and this is the one almost nobody is positioned for, the trust and identity layer. When an AI is spending your money and booking things on your behalf, you need verification, authentication, and fraud protection built for machines acting as humans. That's a category that barely exists yet. Companies like Okta and Identity and newer crypto-native verification protocols are quietly building it. The actionable move, don't just buy the obvious AI name. Map the stack, chips, orchestration, identity, and find the layer that's underpriced relative to how essential it's about to become. Now let me go one level deeper because this connects to something bigger than Apple. When agents start transacting autonomously, you hit a wall the current financial system can't handle. Machines can't easily hold a credit card or open a bank account. They need a native way to move value. This is where crypto stops being a meme and becomes infrastructure. Stablecoins, dollar-pegged tokens like USDC, are programmable money that an AI agent can actually use to pay for an API call, a service, a microtransaction instantly and without a human approving each one. Visa and MasterCard are both already piloting agent payment systems. Coinbase released a framework specifically for AI agents to transact with stablecoins. So the through line is this: the death of the App Store isn't just a UI change. It's the start of an economy where software acts on its own and pays on its own. The platform shift after mobile isn't a new device. It's a new actor. The user becomes the agent. And every layer that serves that agent, the chips it thinks with, the protocols it speaks, the identity it carries, the money it spends, becomes the new investable frontier. The people who understood that apps would eat the web got rich. The people who understand that agents will eat the apps are early right now, today, watching this, positioned before the narrative goes mainstream, not after. So here's your homework. Pick one company you own or use and ask whether it's built to be called by an AI or built to be tapped by a human. That one question will tell you who survives the next 10 years. If this gave you an edge, smash that like button, subscribe to Alpha Protocol for your daily drop on AI, crypto, and finance, and drop a comment. What do you want me to break down next?